Hello everybody, my name is Dogebuddha. In this video, we're going to be ranking some of the Mtn Dew flavors. That is, every single one that I tried. So, I got recommended to do this video from my friend. So all my friends know me as a pretty big Mtn Dew fan, and they said they thought it'd be interesting if I were to, rank every single Mtn Dew flavor. And I held off on it for a while, but now I decided to actually do it. Some other things I want to do during this video is maybe talk about some of the history of Mtn Dew, and maybe bring up some memories that I had with some of these flavors, just to spark things up a little bit. So, as the ranking goes, it's pretty obvious. S tier is the best tier, F tier is the worst tier, and all these flavors are right here. Every single one that I tried so far, they're all right here, and I try to sort them by the year that they were released. So, I don't think any of these are out of order, but if they are, let me know. So, but with all that out of the way, let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the OG Mtn Dew. I'm not exactly sure where I place the OG Mtn Dew. I do like it a lot. So it would at least be B tier, right? But I kind of want to bump it up to A tier a little bit because, it started this entire trend of all these awesome flavors. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of want to put it A tier, but I don't think its taste really deserves A tier. But its legacy, combined with its taste, makes it deserve the A tier, so. But I think we should probably just go based on taste, so I'm just gonna put it in B tier. It's a good flavor, but I don't think it, really goes over the top or anything. So next, we got Code Red here. I'm not really a big fan of Code Red. I think it kind of just lacks in flavor. The flavor is really not that great. It's just, I don't know, not that good. Next, we have Livewire. I probably put Livewire C tier. It's not that good of a flavor. I still enjoy its taste and everything, but I just don't think it's that great. Still a good flavor, very nice orange flavor, but it's, I don't know, just doesn't really do that much for me. Next, we got Mtn Dew Baja Blast, and I'm definitely going to put this up at S tier. I know that's a pretty popular opinion, but I love Baja Blast, and I'm so glad that it's, permanent in 2024. That's pretty cool, and it seems that it's going to be permanent for years afterwards, as long as it sells well, which I'm sure it will, because this is Baja Blast. Everybody loves Baja Blast. Anybody that drinks soda probably knows what that is. And there's, been huge outcry from even, outside of people that aren't even, Mtn Dew fans about making it permanent, keeping it in stores. But yeah, I always loved it whenever it would come into bottles and cans in the stores, every summer. That was always something I enjoyed looking forward to. So, the other 2004 release we have is Mtn Dew Pitch Black, and we're probably going to put this in A tier. This is a flavor that I also really like. I tried it when it came back in 2016, and it was battling with Baja Blast to be a permanent flavor, and it won. I heard it was rigged though. Yeah, it was a really good flavor. Actually, I tried this, the first time I tried it was when when Pitch Black first came back in 2016, they had these in the Speedway fountain machines, and my local Speedway's fountain machines were really bad, because when I tasted it, it tasted like medicine. It tasted really off. But then I had it again. The second time I had it was when it was a Speedway freeze, right? So, one of the slushies that they have. And, that, I guess this was at a different location. This was at a different Speedway, so it tasted actually really good, right? That machine was working, and I was like, alright, I'm definitely going to retry this when it comes out in bottles and cans. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I gave it another shot, because, again, it's a really good flavor. Okay, so for the next flavor, we have two versions of Citrus Cherry. We're going to rank the one that came out in 2007. Then this one also got re-released in 2023. But yeah, I think this is the one that they had from 2007 to 2016, as these labels say. Well, maybe it was 2015. But yeah, what's the difference is, this is full sugar. The 2007 one is full sugar. And the 2016 to 2022 one is half sugar. It's like a half diet drink. They use a certain kind of sugar that is 23 grams of sugar or something. This is 46 grams. So this one we're definitely putting up in A tier. So yeah, really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. And I kind of want to put it in S tier because there are some really cool gaming promotions, but I kind of want to keep this based on taste, right? If we consider other things about it, it's kind of, I don't know, might make it a little unfair. But yeah, I first tried this in 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014, because that's when they were doing the Advanced Warfare promotion, and this was like, I think this was the drink that really got me into Mountain Dew and all of its flavors, because I remember looking into, like, you know, the Mountain Dew stuff after drinking this, because before I had this Game Fuel, I knew about Baja Blast, right? And I always thought Baja Blast was cool. Whenever I went to Taco Bell, I would always get it. And when it came out in bottles and cans, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And it tasted a lot better in bottles and cans, because, you know, it wasn't dependent on the soda machine at Taco Bell. I was like, this is really cool that they have this citrus cherry flavor. And I had a Game Fuel before this, my first try of citrus cherry, and I knew about Baja Blast, and I was like, I wonder what else there is about Mountain Dew, and I found out everything else, and I was like, wow, that's, you know, I found out about the Democracy events, I found out about Pitch Black, I found out about, like, you know, flavors that were outside of the US. I thought that was really cool, so then I started following it, and then, you know, on the Mountain Dew subreddit, that was the #1 place to get leaks for Mountain Dew, along with, like, I think it was MountainDewKid.com, so this is really the drink that got me into looking into Mountain Dew and, you know, tracking it and trying all the flavors and stuff. Okay, so the half sugar citrus cherry, we're gonna put this probably B tier, cause it's pretty obvious. It's half sugar, it's not as sweet, it's not as good as the original citrus cherry. So I actually only have this, let's see, no, okay. I was thinking I only had this when it came to Arby's. So when Arby's was still doing, when they were still serving Pepsi products for a small time, they had Game Fuel Citrus Cherry in their soda machines, right? And I even took a picture of it and showed it off to all my friends. I thought that was really cool. I was like, you know, if I ever want citrus cherry, like, just go to Arby's. But I don't know when they discontinued. I don't know when they stopped doing that, but I don't even think it lasted a year. It was there for like a short amount of time. But yeah, it was the half sugar formula, and yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's not gonna be as sweet or as good as, like, full sugar. So, but yeah, I actually had this when they were doing in 2016, when they were doing the Titanfall 2 promotion. Citrus cherry came along with it, and it was the half sugar formula, because that's what they were doing for a little bit. They were, like, taking their flavors and making them half sugar. So yeah, it wasn't great. I'm so glad they stopped doing it. I don't know what Mountain Dew fans like that. Alright, next up we got Voltage. Now Voltage, it's also a pretty good flavor. You know, I really like it, really enjoy it. But I don't know if I should put it in A tier or B tier. I'm just gonna put it in B tier for now. Voltage is really good. You know, ever since I had my first drink of it, I always thought it was really nice. You know, I really like the flavor. Throughout the years, I would always, you know, get it every so often. It's a drink that I definitely would buy, like, 12 packs of. But, like, there's other flavors that I, like, prefer over it. But I mean, again, it still tastes pretty good. I just don't know exactly where I would put it, because B tier seems a little too low, but A tier seems a little too high, so. But I guess I'll just keep it at B tier. As much as I do like it, I guess A tier should be, like, for, you know, B tier is, like, great flavors, A tier is, like, real good flavors, and S tier is just, like, you know, league of its own, like, really good stuff. Next up, we got Distortion. Okay, so I actually never had Distortion in cans. For a little while, Taco Bell had 3 different Mountain Dew Freezies, right? One of them was Baja Blast, obviously, and the other 2 were Mountain Dew Distortion and Mountain Dew Typhoon. So that's how I tried these. I wasn't drinking Dew when they were doing the Democracy 2 event, so I never had these in bottles and cans. Well, actually, I had Typhoon in cans, I had Typhoon in cans, it's just it wasn't the original release, so. Yeah, I'm gonna judge that. I'm gonna judge these flavors based on, you know, what I tried years ago at Taco Bell. Distortion I didn't think was that great, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. I don't know. For me, I don't know if it was the machine or whatever, but it just didn't really have that much flavor. It didn't really taste that much different from Mountain Dew. So I'm gonna just put it in C tier, because it's a good flavor, it's just there's really not much to it, really. And Typhoon, I'll put B tier. Again, a good flavor, but it just really doesn't, you know, go above and beyond. And again, it certainly has more flavor than Distortion, but it's not as good as, you know, Pitch Black, Citrus Cherry, any of that stuff. But I still enjoyed it. And if I'm being honest, I would probably put the 2022 release up here too. So, yeah, I did a video on the drop of Typhoon 2022, because they released it on the Dew store. And they only used the Dew store once after that. I would have liked to make another video on it, but about the Dew store, but There's really not much I could have done about it. Yeah, I would have loved to see more flavor drops on the Dew store, but I mean, it just, yeah, no one was buying Typhoon. And when they did it again with Voodoo, they re-released the first 3 Voodoo flavors, and from what I heard, they didn't sell that well either. So they're probably not gonna use the Dew store again, which is kind of sad because I really liked it. I really like using it. All right, next up we have Mountain Dew Whiteout. Mountain Dew Whiteout was the last of the Democracy 2 flavors, and it won Democracy 2, so it was permanent for up until 2019, I think. I think 2019 is when they stopped really making this nationwide. So, and I never really had it past that because I wasn't in any of the areas that had it. And it was only in 20-ounce bottles anyway. They stopped Whiteout cans. But I think I'm gonna put this in C tier. I do like the flavor, but yeah, it just tastes a little too much like Sprite to me. And I don't dislike Sprite. I like Sprite. It's just, you know, if I'm drinking Mountain Dew, I kind of want something that's more flavor than Sprite. You know, something that's not like Sprite. Yeah, it's okay. Next we have Mountain Dew Game Fuel Electrifying Berry, and I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. I have like this faintest memory about this flavor. I was at my family friend's house, and there wasn't really any soda in the house, so some of the adults went out, got some soda, and this was like this was before I really started drinking Mountain Dew. You know, before I had like an interest in it. This was before I had that citrus cherry that, you know, started the curiosity about it. So, you know, I gave it a try, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And you know, I drank like another can afterwards. As I said, in my memory, I remember like really enjoying this flavor. I just don't know how much, because this was over 10 years ago, I think. So yeah, if I remember this flavor more, I'd probably put it higher, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Next up, we have Sangria Blast, and I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. Again, I really like the flavor, but again, it's not E tier, S tier. So I remember Sangria Blast first came out as like kind of a sidekick to Baja Blast, but it never, you know, got the popularity, or the it certainly wasn't as popular as Baja Blast was, but it was still really good. And I remember like when it was announced for bottles and cans, you know, I was really excited. I was like, that's really awesome, you know, kind of, and it came alongside Baja Blast and bottles and cans, so I thought that was really nice. That was 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It was the second year that Baja Blast was in bottles and cans, and Sangria Blast came and released alongside it. So real nice. I remember my oldest brother, he loved that drink. You know, I can't disagree with him. It's real good. It was also a very unique flavor too. I don't really remember anything else that tasted that much like Sangria Blast, except for like, there's another flavor we're gonna bring up that tasted kind of like it, but I mean, it stands out among like the rest of the Mountain Dew flavors. I can't think of anything else that really tastes like it, except for that one flavor we're gonna bring up, but yeah. Alright, next up we have Game Fuel Berry Lime. This one's going to S tier. I love this flavor, man. When it first came out in 2015, I remember trying it, and I was like, this is good, but as I kept drinking it, man, oh my god, it really grew on me, and I love this flavor, man. And like, I know I said we shouldn't bring up any other things besides flavor to judge these on, but I love the fact that Black Ops 3 is on there, man. It's just, I have really good flavor, you know, I have really good memories about it, and I just love it. Speedway also had this flavor on their freezing machine for a while. I think when 7-Eleven bought them out, they discontinued it, and that made me really mad, because that was my go-to freezy flavor whenever I went to Speedway. It was so good, and you can get a large Slurpee for 69 cents. It was the greatest thing in the world. So you got this big cup of this amazing flavor for under $1. I think that's another reason why I love it so much. It's just all the memories of my dad taking me to Speedway and getting that slushie, and it just good memories. But I mean, again, I really do like the taste a lot too. So next up, we got Game Fuel Mango Heat. I'm probably gonna put this in C tier. Now, it was a good flavor. Not really good. It was a good flavor, right? But it was really brought down by the fact that it was half diet. And again, the half diet stuff didn't taste that great. Now, another thing about this flavor too was I think it may have gotten me sore throat. I remember when I first drank this, it kind of burned my throat a little bit, and I think that was like the flavor, but also getting used to the half sugar stuff. And 2 days after I finished the can of it, I had a sore throat. I had to stay home for like 2 days or so. Yeah, it was I didn't stay home. Still went to school, but yeah, that was The flavor wasn't that great because it was just, you know, anchored down by the half sugar stuff. They haven't really done much other mango type stuff. They really should reconsider. Next up we got Dew SA, and this is the half sugar Dew SA, and we're gonna put this in D tier. So Dew SA is a combination of 3 flavors: Voltage, Code Red, and Whiteout. And well, as you can see from my tier list, only one of those is above C tier, and the other 2 are, you know, C tier and D tier. So you got 2 flavors that I'm not really the biggest fan of, and you have one that I do like, but not all that much, coming together to make one Mountain Dew. And yeah, I don't really enjoy it that much. I think the combination really it doesn't really work that well. And again, it was half sugar, so that's really something else that's like hankering it down. It doesn't have like a really good like flavor profile either. Again, they all just kind of muddle together, and it just doesn't really work that well if you ask me. Dew SA 2021, which is when they had the full sugar, is probably going C tier. You know, I don't dislike it, but it's really not good. It's really not that great. When they did make it full sugar, it still wasn't that great. Again, it's really hard to pinpoint a flavor because it's 3 different sodas put together. So, all right, next up we got Game Fuel Arctic Burst. Now I had this. This is also still the half sugar stuff. And this is after I got used to the half sugar stuff. For whatever reason, it like burned my throat a little bit, I think. But when I got used to it, I did enjoy these 2 right here. These 2 Game Fuel flavors right next to each other. This is in 2017. This was the first year they did Game Fuel without making Citrus Cherry come back, so... Arctic Burst, I had these years ago. Again, I had them in 2017 when they first came out, obviously. And, I don't really remember how good they tasted. I hardly remember their taste. I do remember enjoying both of them, though, so I'm probably just gonna put them in B tier, if I'm being honest. I don't really know what to say about these flavors. Again, I don't remember their taste that much. I just remember enjoying them a lot. And I really can't imagine putting like any Game Fuel that's not Mango Heat below B tier, because I think they're all pretty good. They all just have a flavor that kind of kicks. And all the promotions are cool. Next up we have Mountain Dew Ice. This one we're probably gonna put D tier. So remember how I complained that Whiteout tasted a lot like Sprite? Yeah, Ice was practically Sprite. It didn't taste anything like a Mountain Dew flavor, and it was really bad. I mean, really bad for a Mountain Dew. You know, again, if it tastes like Sprite, it was just fine. Yeah, it just wasn't. This is not a lemon lime Mountain Dew. This is just a lemon lime drink, really. So it was really disappointing. They could have done really good with this, but it really failed. What's funny about this flavor was Mountain Dew was banking on this being like really big. They made this a permanent flavor and they pushed it, but man, people just did not like it for good reason. It wasn't a Mountain Dew, man. It was just a lemon lime drink. That's all it was. There was no like, you know, there was nothing to it. You know, it's kind of a shame. It really shouldn't have the Mountain Dew name on it. Next up, we got Merry Mashup. I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. I really did enjoy this flavor when it was coming out. I gotta say, this is like one of the more unique berry flavors too. It was cranberry flavor, I think. Yeah, it kind of stands out among the rest of these two. So, I think some of these flavors Mountain Dews kind of taste similar to one another, but they still kind of stand on their own way. But then you have flavors like Merry Mashup that really stick out. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. And if it saw a re-release, I'd definitely get it again. But it's not as good as A or S tier. It's got a bold flavor. I mean, it's enjoyable, but it's still not really that good. So next up is Cyclone, and we're gonna put this in B tier only because Cyclone, really, if you ask me, it tasted a lot like Sangria Blast, and obviously we just talked about that. So I think this one wasn't as strong as Sangria Blast. I remember that flavor being like, it was kind of strong whenever you drank it, right? You could really feel it in your mouth and your throat when you swallowed. And I don't think Cyclone really had that, I guess tartness is what it was. It didn't really have that much. The flavor was there, but it wasn't the same energy, I guess you could say. It was kind of, it just wasn't there. But overall, it's still pretty good though. So, this was also a permanent flavor at Speedway for a while. I think it went away the same time that Berry Lime was also phased out. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, again, if this also came back, I'd probably get this. Next up, we got Liberty Brew, and I'm probably gonna put this in A tier. I'm actually a really big fan of Liberty Brew. I know it tastes a lot like gummy bears, but I mean, I like gummy bears, so yeah, I think it's really good. It's very tasty, very berry. It's strong flavor. I don't really know what else to say about it. I thought it was just really nice. And it came back again in 2020, and it came back again in 2024. We'll get into that a little later, but yeah, when I first had this in the summer of 2019, I was like, dude, this is definitely one of my favorite Mountain Dews. Okay, next up, we're gonna do all the Voodoos. So all these Voodoos actually came out 1 year after each other, starting in 2019. But I didn't want to do them. I didn't want to separate all of them. I just want to do them all one go. So we're gonna start with Voodoo 1 or Voodoo 2019. And I'm gonna put this in B tier. Voodoo 1 was enjoyable, but it was so it's a mystery flavor, and they had fans guessing what the flavor was, and when they revealed it, it was candy corn. Personally, I can't see that connection. I had Voodoo. Voodoo 1 really tastes a lot like orange creamsicle. That's what I tasted when I had it. And it was a good orange creamsicle flavor too. It wasn't very much like a Mountain Dew flavor, but I mean, it was still pretty good. It was still up there in terms of flavor. But that's where I'm gonna put Voodoo 1. Voodoo 2, I'm probably gonna put an A tier. So Voodoo, some people said that Voodoo 1, and I kind of agree with them, that besides orange creamsicle, it kind of tasted a little bit like Skittles. And I definitely agree with them on that. It was, again, it was mostly orange creamsicle, but it also had, like, you know, the kind of sweet candy taste of Skittles. Voodoo 2, in my opinion, tasted exactly like Skittles, so that's why I'm putting it higher. I enjoy Skittles more than I enjoy orange creamsicles, I guess, but yeah, it was pretty much as if you know, just kind of squashed up a bunch, or, you know, crunched up a bunch of Skittles, turned them into liquid, and then made it and drink it. Again, I don't think any of the Voodoos really taste too much like a you know, Mountain Dew. They stray a little bit too far from, like, you know, the citrus cherry of the original drink, but I mean, just tasting, you know, basing off their taste, I still think most of them are good. Voodoo 3, this one's a little tough for me. I'm thinking C tier though. I think Voodoo 3 is probably the weakest out of the bunch. This one was Fruit Chew Candy. And just for the record, 2022's was Fruit Candy Explosion. So they have very similar flavor descriptions, but I think the strength between them in terms of flavor was a lot different. Voodoo 2 was a lot stronger. It was, I don't know, there's something with the flavor that really came through about it that Voodoo 3 just didn't have. It was weaker and didn't stand out really. It was, I don't know, after you swallowed it, it just went away real fast, but I think Voodoo 2, after you swallowed it, it still, you know, was in your mouth. It really lingered. Voodoo 3 just kind of came and went. It just really wasn't that great if you ask me. Voodoo 4, which by the way is sour candy flavor, I'm probably gonna put, I really enjoyed this one, but I don't know if I'm gonna put it in B tier or A tier. I'm just gonna keep it in B. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll rethink it, but so in my opinion, this flavor kind of tasted like a sour version of Voltage. So, and I like sour stuff, I really do, but I don't think it was really good enough to be an A tier. I don't think it really can stand up to like Voodoo 2. Maybe if it was less soury. Maybe if it was less sour, I'd probably put it up a bit more. Again, as much as I do like the sour stuff, I kind of wish it wasn't as prominent as it was in this flavor. I wish there was a bit more of an actual flavor rather than just kind of being like voltage and citric acid. Is that what? No, malic acid, which is, I think, what they put on candy to make it sour. I don't know, I just wish it was kind of more, I wish it had a bit more flavor to it rather than just it being kind of just a sour drink. And I do like sour drinks, it's just I wish there's just more flavor to it. Maybe it's a bit more citrus to make it more like Mountain Dewy, but... Next, we got Voodoo 5. Voodoo 5 was actually Cherry Airheads flavor. Yeah, this is, Mountain Dew actually collaborated with Airheads, and they made them a flavor in the form of Voodoo 5. And I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. Again, I mean, you know, Cherry Airheads are good, and this tasted exactly like Cherry Airheads, so it's a good drink. So it's not as strong as a flavor as like Voodoo 2, and it's also not as good as a flavor as Voodoo 2, but it's certainly a lot better than Voodoo 3. So it's got the sweetness, you know, kind of had a little bit of the texture of the Airheads in it, so yeah, I'd say it's B tier. Next up, Maui Burst. Maui Burst is probably gonna go A tier. I really enjoy this one. There's just something about pineapple that, you know, on its own, when it's not mixed with any other flavors like Typhoon, really stands out as a Mountain Dew flavor. So, yeah, I'm definitely putting this one as A tier. It's got good, strong flavor. It really works. When you drink it, it's just, yo, you just want to keep drinking it. As soon as you take a sip, you're like, alright, I gotta take another sip. So, and again, I think pineapple just, it works well with Mountain Dew if it's just on its own, for the most part. We'll get into that later. Next up, we got Frostbite. Frostbite, we're probably gonna put this C tier. Yeah, Frostbite, the thing about Frostbite is, it doesn't really have much flavor, and it doesn't even really taste that much like a Mountain Dew. I mean, it's still good, but it really falls flat on its face in terms of a bunch of what the other flavors have to offer. So this would actually be like low C tier, because I mean, I would definitely drink every other C tier than first before Frostbite, because, I don't know, there's really not much to it. But I do enjoy it. It's certainly better than like Code Red and USA, I think. But it really doesn't stand up as a Mountain Dew flavor in terms of, you know, how sweet it is and just how much it feels like a Mountain Dew. Next up, we got Southern Shock. Not sure where to put this one. I'm probably just gonna put it in B tier. So I don't have a Bojangles around me, but I remember the first time that I tried this flavor, it was on a road trip, and we stopped at a Bojangles because I asked my parents if we could, just so I could try Southern Shock. And it was pretty good. I do like it. True to its name, it's certainly got some shock to it. I don't know if it's a Southern Shock, but you know, the acidity is nice, the flavor is smooth, it's got a little bit of a punch to it, but it's, you know, it's good. I enjoyed it. I only had this flavor twice, and I really wish I had it more. I don't think they're serving this at Bojangles anymore. Maybe they are, I'm not 100% sure, but if they're not, I'll put something up on the screen that says no more. Okay, next up we got Spark. I'm gonna put Spark in C tier. So this is a raspberry lemonade flavor, and I will say, the number one thing I like about this is it's a really nice combination of these two flavors. You really get an equal mix of raspberry and lemonade put together. It's not like some other raspberry lemon drinks where, like, you know, the raspberry is overpowering the lemon, or the lemon overpowers the raspberry. I think the Spark's, like, number one thing about it, its number one strength, is that it's actually a really good equal mix between the two. I guess I'm just not the biggest fan of raspberry lemonade flavor. I still like Spark, though. I'd still drink it over some of these other C-tier flavors, but... Next, Major Melon. Major Melon... I'm gonna put an A tier. I really enjoy Major Melon. I guess it's because I really like watermelon flavored stuff, but I don't know, I think it doesn't taste too much like a real watermelon. It's kind of like a candy watermelon, I guess you could say. But I don't know, I think that works well with Mountain Dew, if you ask me. Like, I don't know, there's just something about the citrus, you know, like if you take the OG Mountain Dew and like kind of fuse it with a watermelon flavor. I don't know, I just think Mountain Dew works with like watermelon stuff. I wish they did more melon kind of stuff. I don't know, I just think it's real nice when you mix like Mountain Dew with like a watermelon flavor. It just, you know, something about it is just a good combination. As a matter of fact, as I said, I just really like watermelon flavor, so if you took any soda and mix it with watermelon, I think I'd like it, so. Next up, we got Baja Flash. This one is definitely getting A tier. So this is a pina colada flavor, and I mean, true to its name, it really does taste like Mountain Dew Mountain Dew spin on a pina colada. So the number one thing I liked about this was you could taste both, like, you know, the Mountain Dew side of things, but it also really tasted like a pina colada. So you got the pineapple and the coconut in there, so the flavor was just right, man. The thing about this, everything about it was really good, but I don't know if I put it up with the Legends, Baja Blast, and Berry Lime, but otherwise, I mean, it was still pretty good. Baja Punch, I'm probably gonna put in B tier. Again, it's a good flavor, but definitely not as good as its counterpart. It was a nice sweet flavor, you know. It did the punch thing just right, but I don't know. I don't really think it was as good as like an A tier and S tier flavor. It didn't really go above and beyond. Next up, we got Cake Smash. I'm gonna put this in D tier. So, true to its name, Cake Smash literally does taste like a liquefied piece of cake. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting, but I'm not gonna put it in F tier because I mean it was still very much drinkable. It wasn't something that I spat out or dumped down the drain. I drank about a fifth of it. I actually shared this with a few of my friends. As a matter of fact, I actually have another can of it. So if you don't know, Cake Smash came out as a 6-pack release on the Dew store that you could buy. And the other thing is, it was a Twitter giveaway. So if you went on Twitter and put like certain hashtags and added Mountain Dew, it would give you a chance to win the Cake Smash. Or 2 cans of Cake Smash. And I won. And on my birthday, I actually cracked this open with a few of my friends, and we had some of it. And not disgusting. Disgusting is not the right word, but it certainly wasn't good. It was certainly like, yeah, this is something we don't want to drink again. Next up, got Dark Berry Bash. I'm also gonna put this in D tier. Yeah, and this flavor, I would never get this flavor again. I'm just gonna stick to OG Mountain Dew whenever I go to Applebee's. Yeah, this one's just the flavor it does have is bitter. I don't know. I'm not a really big fan of it. I think it's like a bitter version of Voltage, so it stands out as Mountain Dew flavor in all the wrong ways. Next up, we got Thrashed Apple. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I enjoy Thrashed Apple a lot. I wish they would do more apple flavors for Mountain Dew. I know they had Diet Mountain Dew Crave, which was an apple flavor that they made for Fandumonium? Is that what that event's called? So now that we have a flavor that's, you know, purely green apple, for me that was great. Because I also like green apples. Because just like how I like a lot of watermelon flavored stuff, I love green apple flavored stuff too. So when Mountain Dew was like, hey, we're gonna make a green apple flavor again, I was like, yes, I'm so for this. You know what's funny is that Thrashed Apple was actually a Kroger exclusive, and I don't have a Kroger around me, so, but luckily, they would ship out certain items to, like, certain places, and they were able to ship some out to me, so I bought some for, like, I don't know, $8 or so, and I really enjoyed it, so I was like, as soon as I can get my hands on this, I will, and, luckily I didn't have to drive to another state or, like, wait a while until I could get it. Yeah, I just really enjoy it because I don't know, I like green apple stuff. I really like the tartness and like the sourness of that flavor. A lot of people say that this tastes like a green apple Jolly Rancher hard candy, and I agree with them. But I think it actually has a bit, well, I think the acidity just works really well with it. I was going to say it has more flavor to it, which it does, but I think it's the acidity that really plays into it. Next up is Uproar. So I only had this flavor once. My friend picked it up on a road trip, and he shared some with us. I'm probably going to put it in B tier. It was a good flavor. The kiwi worked really well with this. I think there's some fruits that like Mountain Dew should use a lot more rather than just like berry stuff. There's a lot of flavors that are just based on berries. They should really, you know, go. I know kiwi's a berry, but you know, if you just look at the cans and stuff or the bottles, you know, the flavor description, it just says like berry or punch, tropical. They really should think of like other stuff like kiwis. You know, like in this flavor. And the kiwi stuff really looks real good here. But it doesn't work that well that it's an A tier and S tier. Next, we got Gingerbread Snaps. I'm gonna put the C tier. Okay, so Gingerbread Snap actually doesn't taste bad. You think if it was gingerbread, it would taste, you know, really bad. But it actually had more of like a lemony taste to it. I mean, the gingerbread was still kind of there. It was just kind of on the down low. But yeah, it's certainly not good. But I mean, it's not that bad either. Next up, we got Mountain Dew Legend. I'm going to put this in B tier. So when Mountain Dew Legend was first coming out, a lot of people said it tasted like Pitch Black. And I was like, hell yeah, you know, I love Pitch Black, so I got to get this as soon as I can. And when I did try it, I was like, yeah, I think there's a little bit of Pitch Black to this, but it's really, I think it's its aftertaste that tastes like Pitch Black. Otherwise, it's I don't know, I'd say it's a unique flavor. And it's also a good flavor too. But I think there's a little bit of bitterness to it. If that bitterness wasn't there, I would put it in A tier, but wait, when you drink it, like when it's fresh in your mouth, right, you get that nice flavor to it, that nice berry flavor, I think it is, right? And then I think it's blackberry, if I'm not mistaken. But you get that, and it's real nice, but then there's like this kind of bitter taste to it. But then you swallow it, right, and there comes the aftertaste, and that's, again, kind of like Pitch Black, so. Yeah, if the middle part wasn't there, I'd probably put it in A tier, but because it's got a little bit of bitterness to it, I'm just gonna have to demote it to B tier, really. Okay, next up is Flaming Hot. And more specifically, the 2022 release. Yeah, we're putting it in F tier. This is probably the only flavor that's gonna get an F tier. It's, I took one sip of it and I didn't want to taste it again. At least with Cake Smash, I was like, well, I mean, if I was forced to drink this, I'd suffer, but not that much. This flavor, ugh, yeah, it was not good, man. And this was the 2022 release. I heard I think I remember correctly, the Dew store release had like more flavor to it. It wasn't as spicy. It was a bit more limey, I think. People said. I never had it. I tried to get the original Dew store release of Flaming Hot, but there was that issue where like people that tried to buy it were like locked out or something, or like they couldn't add it to their cart. Well, they couldn't proceed to like the payment information, and that's what I got stuck on. I was so close too, and it just, yeah. By the time I tried to hit, buy now, they were just like, yeah, it's out of stock. This is something I talked about in the Typhoon video. You should totally watch that because it's interesting. At least I think so. Tastes like medicine, it burns your tongue, burns your throat. It's disgusting. Okay, so next we got Purple Thunder. I'm gonna put this in S tier, actually. I really enjoy this flavor. I didn't think a berry plum flavor was gonna work that well, but when I got it, man, I loved it. I wanted to drink more and more of it. When it first came out in April 2022, it was found only, and then I think shortly afterwards they put it in bottles. And oh my god, man. When I first had it, I remember looking for this thing, just going like, oh, I want to... Whenever I go looking for a flavor, I'm just like, I gotta see what it tastes like. But man, as soon as I drank this, like, dude, this is really good. I can't wait to have this again. So, during my first semester of college, there was a Circle K on my way home, and I would stop there often to see if Purple Thunder was there. Well, Purple Thunder was there. It was just like the machine wasn't working, or like they never had enough syrup. I remember there was a couple of times I went there, and like, I went to press down on the thing that released the soda for Purple Thunder, and it was just, it was just water. I guess it was selling very well if that happened to me a couple times, because how would they run out of syrup so fast? So when it came out in bottles, I was really happy because, I was like, alright, I don't have to depend on the, the fountain anymore. I can just get it out of a bottle, and that would last me like, a day or two. And then when it came out in cans, I was even happier. I was like, hell yeah, this will last me even longer. And I still sometimes just go to Circle K to buy a 12-pack or so. It's a real good flavor, man. I love it. I gotta say, the plum actually does make the flavor a bit bitter, but I don't know. It's just something that bitterness kind of works with this flavor. I don't know what it is, but it's real good, man. I could talk about it all day, but I won't. Alright, next up we got Baja Gold. Now, I'm gonna put this in probably... I'm gonna put this in C tier, and I'll explain why. So, Mountain Dew Gold actually is just like a pineapple Mountain Dew flavor. And as I said before, I really like when Mountain Dew does stuff with pineapple stuff, but I mean, I don't know, this one just wasn't hitting. I just think it wasn't as flavorful as like Maui Burst or Baja Flash. There's just something about it that just kind of made it bland and kind of boring, and it wasn't, I don't know, it just really wasn't as good as the other pineapple flavors. So, that's why it's going in C tier. Next up, we got Mango Jam. I'm gonna put this in C tier as well. Yeah, this one's not that great either. This one also kind of just falls flat on its face in terms of just being good. I mean, I still drank it, and I still enjoyed it, but after a certain point, I was just like, eh. It's really not that great of a flavor. The mango flavor is kind of there, but it's not as prevalent as it should be when you're drinking it. I don't know, I guess it just doesn't work that well when you have to, consider you have to put some kind of semblance of Mountain Dew in these things. Alright, next up, we got Overdrive. I'm gonna put Overdrive probably B tier. I don't have really anything against Overdrive. I think it's a pretty good flavor. It's another one of those citrus punch flavors, and, nothing against citrus punch, but man, it kind of blends in with, like, the other punch flavors like Uproar and Baja Punch. So, again, it's a good flavor, it's just not really that unique. So, I don't really want to put it above B tier because of, how similar it is to some of these other drinks. I mean, look at Overdrive and Uproar right next to each other. If I told you that these were, like, the same flavor, but they had, like, different level of brightness to them, you'd probably believe me. I mean, look at them. Look at them side by side. Yeah, they look practically identical. Alright, next up we got Mountain Dew Baja Deep Dive. I'm gonna put this one at C tier. Now, okay, so for those that don't know, Mountain Dew Deep Dive was part of a sweepstakes that they had for the summer of 2022. So when they released the Baja flavors that year, Baja Gold and Baja Mango Gem, there was certain codes on the bottles, and if you put them into their website, you would get a chance to win. So the winners were randomly chosen, And if you won, you get 1 6-pack of these things. Now, I was told that there was some left over for deep dive, and apparently some people won 2 packs instead of 1. I don't know how true that is, but anyways, going back to the flavor, it really does taste like Pitch Black and Baja Blast put together. And as much as I do like both those flavors, I don't really think when they come together they taste that great. So like you can kind of taste like the limeness, when it's first in your mouth, but with like when you swallow, you kind of taste the grape or like dark berry or pitch black, and I don't know. I don't think they fuse that well together. There's just something about them that kind of seem like opposite to each other. I guess they're a little too opposing when you taste them. Okay, next we got Fruitquake. I'm gonna put Fruitquake in C tier. Now, Fruitquake is like gingerbread snap in that it's a flavor that sounds like it would be disgusting, but it's really not that bad. Fruitquake kind of tastes like a combination of like apples and cherries. I don't know, neither of those flavors really tasted that great. They were kind of just, eh. They kind of burned a little bit, I guess you could say. They just, eh. They didn't really stand out or were that flavorful. So, yeah, we're just gonna leave that one there. Alright, next up is Summer Freeze. I'm gonna put this in A tier. Yeah, Summer Freeze is really good, man. I mean, it tasted just like a summer popsicle. And I really like summer popsicles, so I mean, like a bomb pop, it really tasted like that, but Mountain Dew did it in a way that it just works so well as a soda. I don't know how they did it, man, but it's really got the sweetness of a summer popsicle, but it works so well with like the citrusness and like the acidity of Mountain Dew. It just, I don't know, man, like it just works. I don't know what else to say. It's real nice. Next up, we got Caribbean Splash. I'm probably gonna put this in B tier. So this was supposed to be guava flavored. I don't think I've ever had a guava fruit before, but in any case, I mean it's a good flavor. It just doesn't stick out that much, I don't think, and the flavor certainly wasn't as bold as I think it should have been. Next, we got Passion Fruit Punch. I'm also gonna put this in B tier. So this one kind of tastes a bit like Purple Thunder, but it's certainly not as good as Purple Thunder. And again, I never had a passion fruit before, but yeah, I just wish both these flavors are a bit more bold. I guess you'd say like stick out a bit more whenever you drink them. I just wish they were more stronger. I think that would really help their case. They're a little too smooth. Next, we got Game Fuel Mystic Punch. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I really enjoyed this one. Now, this flavor kind of tastes a little bit like the rest of the berry flavors of Game Fuel and just Mountain Dew in general, but I don't know, there's something about it I just really enjoyed. Maybe it was like the first Game Fuel, the first real Game Fuel flavor in forever, and that's why I kind of like it a lot, but I don't know, I really enjoyed drinking this. I think the berry flavor was really pronounced and just flavorful. It was good. Next we got Baja Laguna Lemonade. I'm gonna put this in B tier. No, I actually really enjoy Laguna Lemonade, but there's something about it that's really kind of just pushing me back from putting it into A tier. I think maybe the lemonade's a little too strong. Maybe there should have been a bit more of that mango flavor in it, but maybe it's just a little too sour for me to really be like. I just think the sourness maybe doesn't work as well as it should. I don't know. I just think the sourness should probably take a little bit of a backseat. And I do like sour stuff, but I mean, I don't know how well it works like Mountain Dew. Okay, next we got Baja Point Break Punch. I'm gonna put this in C tier. I mean, I like the flavor, but it really isn't great. It's nothing really worth talking about. And it's another punch flavor, so I mean, again, it really doesn't stick out that well from the rest of it. It's not really unique like some of the other Mountain Dew flavors. So I don't really have much to say about it. I just think it's just a little bland, really. Not much to it other than just fruity explosion in your mouth, I guess. Alright, last but not least, we got the 2024 Americana flavors, also known as the Patriotic flavors, and they're right here if you can see my mouse. Now, I haven't had Fruity Fusion yet, but that's about to change. So, in my hand, I got some Freedom Fusion. This is a lemonade and peach flavor, so we're gonna try it right now and see how it is, see where it goes on the tier list. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Hold on, I'm gonna give it another taste. Yeah, it's good. I kind of, honestly, this tastes a little bit like Laguna Lemonade if like some of the sourness was taken out. So this is a lemonade and peach flavor. I can't taste too much of the peach, but the lemonade's definitely here. I'm gonna give it one more taste. Yeah, the peach flavor is a little weak, but I mean, the lemonade works really well with this one. Well, it's certainly a lot better than Laguna lemonade. It's kind of like less sour, I guess more sweet, and I don't know, I think that just works better. I don't know. I don't know if I should put this in A tier or B tier. All right. Well, if I'm saying it's better than Laguna Lemonade, I guess it's going in A tier. So yeah, this is actually really good. I like this a lot. Okay, so I had what was it, Star Spangled Splash? I think I had this yesterday, and I like this flavor a lot too. But I don't know if I'm gonna put it in A tier or B tier just yet. I'll probably just put this in B tier. So I did enjoy it. I didn't think the flavor stood out too much, but the number one thing I really liked about this flavor was there's a little bit of a tart aftertaste, and I don't know, that just works so well with that flavor. Like, you know, you drink it, you get like the kind of normal berry taste you expect from some of the other berry Mountain Dew flavors, but then when you swallow it and you get that aftertaste, there's tartness to it. And again, I don't know what it is, but it works so well with that flavor. So, yeah. Okay. So, that's about it for the video. If you're wondering, this flavor right here, the Liberty Chill, which is the third flavor of the 2024 Patriotic flavors, is actually just Liberty Brew rebranded, so we're going to put that in A tier, because again, I really enjoyed it, so I thought it was real good. And when I went to Walmart yesterday to find the Patriotic flavors, I found Star Spangled Splash and Freedom Fusion. I haven't found Liberty Chill yet. But, I guess it's not necessary for this video, because, again, it's just a rebranded Liberty Brew. But I can't wait to find it, because, as I said before, I really enjoy it, so. Yeah, that's about it for the video. Thanks for watching.